Hey fantasy fans, welcome back here. It's Dan with Treebeard Book Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at The Carpet People by Terry Pratchett. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so The Carpet People. So again, this is going to be I'm going to do a spoiler-free discussion of this book, just like kind of light synopsis, things I like, things I didn't like. Again, this is all just my opinion. I come up with a video every Tuesday and Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, and then my quick book shorts on Thursdays and Sundays. If you like this content, guys, please like and subscribe. This is a fun little book, so let's start talking about The Carpet People. Okay, so The Carpet People. So what is this book about? So this book, it's set on obviously a carpet. Like the people you meet. Your two main characters you're going to meet are Glurk and Snibril, and they're both members of the Mungrung clan. And what's happening is that they're like kind of like a nomadic tribal little people, and they live in this carpet, like this plain old carpet. And they're so tiny, they live in the little hair and fibers of the carpet, and they're wandering around. And what's happening is there's a city called Tregon Maris, where they have to go and pay tribute, pay their taxes every 10 years to Ware, the big city, the main city of the Empire of the Dumi, or the Dumai. And what's happening is the land is being attacked by Frey and moles. And so what's happened is, they can go and pay their tribute, and their little tribe was attacked by moles, which are kind of like these little like goblin-y little creatures. They keep being attacked by this force called Frey, which is, destroying their lands and home. And so the Mungrungs, with Snibril and Glurk as their leaders, are trying to escape the mole attacks. And that's really kind of where a story, takes off, is where Glurk and Snibril, they kind of go on an adventure to find out what's causing Frey, why are the moles like attacking, and it's just a fun little adventure. Like, it's Terry Pratchett's first book. He wrote it when he was young, and then he finished it when he was a little bit older, and it was his first published novel. Really great book. Really interesting book, I'm gonna say. And you really, you can see the formation of the Discworld. With this writing, where the Discworld eventually is going to come from, this great mind of Sir Terry Pratchett. So, again, it's a really fun, lighthearted book, great for kids. I'm going to definitely hold on to the book to read to my kids, because it's a funny, quirky little book, and it's definitely nothing to be taken like super seriously, but I think it has some great themes, and there's definitely so many parts that are enjoyable about it. So let's kind of get into the things I really liked about The Carpet People. Okay, so let's talk about some of the good things that are about this book. The big things for me is, it's a really fun, like light-handed, like just silly, goofy story of these little people living in a carpet, and just how creative, Terry is with this world. And, to say it's a carpet, he does this amazing world building where there's all these different societies like the Mungrungs and the Dumii and the moles and the Deftmeans, or Deftmenis. So yeah, it's really fun. He does a lot of good world building where, the hairs of the carpet are like big massive trees, and they've built all these societies, and as they move through the carpet changes colors, and there's an underlay to the carpet, and like that's like their underground caverns and stuff like that. It's just really good world building. It's really fun, and like, the hairs of the carpet grow fruit, and there's dust down there, and they bury their dead in the dust and stuff like that. It's just a fun book. There's like some really fun stuff. It's really light, guys. Like, this is such a light book. So I really liked, just that idea, like the world building he did, and there's some actually pretty prevalent themes here that he pulled on. Like, there's definitely like the Roman theme of the Dumii, which is like reminiscent of the Roman Empire, where all the roads through the carpet lead to their capital city, where. So there's like this running theme, like all roads lead to where, and it's almost like all roads lead to Rome. So yeah, like even the Dumii, like it's kind of like reminiscent of how like the Romans, like you know name some of their cities and name some of their like places. And like Bane, one of the characters, he's a general from the Dumii. And then you also meet like characters like King Brocando, who's one of the Deaf Means, and he's kind of almost like a barbarian king in a sense. So yeah, it's literally like Roman barbarians, and then like the Whites, which are like they're the first race of the carpet people. Very funny, like they can like see into the future. So yeah, it's a really light book. I can't say too much there. Like, and there's also this other prevalent theme, which what I took from the book is how small these people are in this, just living in the fibers of this carpet, and it almost kind of made me think about like how small we are on this planet, in our galaxy, in our solar system, in our in our universe. We're so small, and we are essentially like little carpet people, where we think we're the center of our own universe on this earth, and they're like them, they're the center of their universe on a carpet, and they're one carpet of billions of carpets everywhere, right? So it's almost kind of like us, we're one little planet in a billions and trillions of planets, right? And I just love that theme that Terry's kind of hitting at. And there's a lot of fun characters here, like Glurk, Snibbril, Brocando, Bane, Peacemire. Like, there's a lot of good characters. Like, there's not a lot of character work done. Like, they don't get really fully fleshed out and fully established. But I mean, for a 180-page book, like, you can't expect too much of that. But I do like, you really kind of see the foundations and formation of the disc world. Again, like the carpet it's a flat world, like the disc world, and you see a lot of the tongue-in-cheek of Terry Pratchett with like, the like, there's certain things on this carpet where they get their resources from. So there's a match that that's where all the wood comes from in this universe, in this world, is from a single match that's fallen on the carpet, and all the metal in this world has come from a penny that's fallen on the carpet. And they also get resin, or I think it's varnish, and they get it from a place called a chair leg. So it's almost reminiscent of like a jelly baby in like the disc world. Like, it's just tongue in cheek, right? So a jelly baby being like jelly babies from like the candy. So yeah, it's just Terry Pratchett just being like goofy and wacky, but doing it in a way that like it's acceptable, because that's probably how these characters would get varnish, is off of a chair leg. And you just really realize the scope and scale of them. Like, they are tiny, like speck of dust tiny to us, right? Yeah, really fun little book. So let's kind of just get into some of the things I didn't like about the Carpet People. Some of the things I just didn't really care for in the Carpet People were, there's just not a lot. It's just not a lot there. It's just a really short book. Excuse me. And, there's a lot of things aren't explained. Like Frey, you have no idea who that is. Like, I assumed it was just like a vacuum cleaner that was like vacuuming the carpet, or like someone sweeping up. That's what I just imagined, because it's really random. It's like someone sweeping in a line, right? Like, where Frey's kind of going in a line. So it's just like a vacuum traveling over a carpet. So, like days on the carpet for the Carpet People is literally like seconds of someone vacuuming. It's really interesting how he plays with time and relativity, right? And that's all it is relativity, and due to scale and size, I guess. So yeah, you just don't know a lot. You don't learn a lot. I think some of the descriptions of some of the moles aren't really like described very well, or I couldn't really get a clear picture, or what a snarg looks like. Other than that, like, yeah, it's just some of the stuff is just, there's some really good world building, like with the carpet, but then it kind of drops off somewhere, and you know, maybe that's where it kind of Terry said, you know, this book was written by two different people, myself when I was 17 and myself when I was 43. So you know, it's you know, what parts were written when he was young and which part was written when he was older, and so that's kind of the other things. And like I said, there's just not a lot there, right? It's a really thin book. There's not a lot of layers to it. The conflict was, you know, it's just a very light, child like friendly book with some good world building. So there's not like any definitive negatives. It's just I don't think it's going to stick with me very long. And like, even, you know, I read this book probably 5-10 days ago, and I've already kind of forgotten a lot about it. So it just doesn't have a lot of staying power in my mind, for me at least. So yeah, let's just get on to my overall rating and whether I think you should read The Carpet People. Okay, so The Carpet People. Should you read it? Yeah, you should read it. If you like Terry Pratchett, if you like the Discworld, and you want to see where the Discworld was kind of formed in Terry's mind, yeah, read it. It's fun. If you have kids, they definitely would enjoy it. It's a really light book. I think I read it in like 5 hours maybe, and I took my time. Like, I wasn't like trying to rush through it or anything like that. It's a really light book, and it's quite fun. So like, my overall rating, like I didn't rate it very high. I rated it about a 3, but it was probably like a 2.7 for me. There's not a lot there. It's just a fun little whimsical. It's whimsy. That's all it is. It's a whimsical book with these characters you don't really get attached to that well, and you just have a little fun little adventure through a carpet. So yeah, that's really it, guys. Short one today. That's my review of The Carpet People by Terry Pratchett. I liked it. Pick it up, give it a read, tell me what you think, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.